In the movie Beyond the Mat, there's the meeting with you and Vince. Was that your actual first meeting with him, or was that more for the movie?
That was more for the movie. I mean, we had met before. Early on, we had talked, and we were talking. They were talking about, what do you want to do? They were trying to figure out what we could do, to let my parents know or whatever, and just came up with that, and kind of went from there. It was funny. Everybody just kind of had a good time with it, and that's how that ended up being what it was.
What did you think of that movie?
It was, I'm not sure. It focused on a couple of guys and more of problems and things like that, I thought. I think Barry could have used a lot more footage on a lot of different people. But I think it turned out okay. I mean, I watched it a bunch of times. I have it in there, and it was interesting to watch. I mean, I think from a fan's perspective, I don't know how you felt about it, but I think it was interesting to see, from a fan's perspective.
Yeah, it was.
And from a wrestler's perspective, I mean, it was. We see it, what goes on all the time, but it's interesting for people to see behind the scenes and what goes on, basically.
I guess the darker side, you would say, right?
Well, yeah, basically it was the darker side. I think there could have been a little better mix, but it was his movie. It's what he did with it. I think he and Vince had a little falling out with that.
Mm-hmm. What were you thinking when Vince was going crazy about you puking during that meeting? What was going through your head?
Well, it was just, I was kind of laughing in my head because I'm like, this is great. This is what and it wasn't a bad way. But I was like, this is what I've become, and this is going to be cool now. This is, we're laughing about this and making jokes about this, and I can actually make a living doing this. And that's just something that, really, like I said, I was laughing in my head because I look back at all the things, all the negative things in my life. The people have tried to, bring me down by, the way you look, you're never going to get a job, blah, 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 you can't do this. And I was doing exactly what I wanted to do in life and having a field day doing it. And in that moment, it was just funny, it was just funny to myself thinking about, this is great. I have Vince McMahon laughing and yelling at me, not laughing, but yelling at me. And, I'm like, holy crap. It was surreal, I guess you'd say.
How does Vince McMahon say? Still keep in touch with you, or?
I don't talk to Vince on the phone, but like I said, when I go to the shows, if I see Vince, we'll take some time and just, talk about what's going on and how things have been going, things like that, and what's going on in the show, and he takes time out, and that's a beautiful thing.
Have you noticed a change in Vince over the years? Any kind of change, or has he just been Vince?
The Vince is Vince. I mean, there's so many different aspects of Vince. I mean, the good guy, the bad guy, the wrestler. He is so multi-talented. I mean, I don't know if people, realize, now we have the billionaire versus billionaire, but he does his thing, probably the best that anybody's ever done it. He's the boss. He does everything, and he's a good person. He's a shrewd businessman, and that's, you do what you have to do in business. But he's still a good person, at heart.